I'm not used to speaking under arc lights and things like that. However, I'll do my best. Gentlemen, we are going to give you a copy of the Secretary General's statement, and I'm going to read it out now. Today, 27th March 1964, the United Nations peacekeeping force in Cyprus has become operational, and Lieutenant General P.S. Gyani has assumed command of the force. A new phase of the Cyprus situation has just begun, and I very much hope that the United Nations peacekeeping force will receive the full cooperation on the part of all concerned, so that it may effectively discharge the task assigned to it by the Security Council. I wish on this occasion to make a special appeal to the government of Cyprus and to the members and leaders of all communities to exercise the greatest restraint and to collaborate with the United Nations in the restoration of peace and normal conditions throughout the island. I also wish to appeal to all parties concerned to refrain from any action likely to worsen the situation in Cyprus. The future happiness and well-being of the population of Cyprus are at stake, and there could be no more noble endeavor than for all to strive to put an end to bloodshed and violence and to cooperate again with each other so that a peaceful solution and an agreed settlement of the problems confronting Cyprus may be reached. As I stated in my report to the Security Council yesterday, the United Nations peacekeeping force is an impartial, objective body which operates under the mandate given to it by the Security Council, and within that mandate under instructions issued by me. The force has no responsibility for political solutions, and indeed will not try to influence them one way or another. The commander of the force and members of the force, as authorized by him, will be free to have such contacts as they may deem desirable in order to ensure the proper performance of the functions of the force as defined in the Security Council resolution of 4th March 1964. I place my confidence in the people of Cyprus, who alone can bring about the peace that we all desire. I trust that they will fulfill our hope that no matter how grave the difficulties, people will always find a peaceful solution if they have the will to bring their differences to an end. This is my personal statement. This morning, I assumed command of the United Nations force in Cyprus, and the force became operational as from 0500 hours today. I'm very happy to meet you, gentlemen of the press, on this occasion, and I look forward to very good relations between the force and you in the difficult task ahead of us. Needless to say, I personally consider it a great honor to be in command of an international peacekeeping force set up by the Secretary General in pursuance of the resolution of the Security Council. And I feel it a privilege that the Secretary General, as well as the governments of the participating states, have shown such confidence in me. The force, as you know, will consist of contingents from Canada, Finland, Ireland, Sweden, and the United Kingdom. Almost the entirety of the Canadian contingent is already here. Advance parties from Finland and Sweden are expected to arrive this evening, and from Ireland tomorrow. The bulk of the contingents from these countries will be in Cyprus within a short time. The United Kingdom contingent, which will form half the force, will be drawn from the United Kingdom force which had been deployed already in peacekeeping functions in Cyprus. I wish here to express my admiration for the manner in which this task was carried out by the United Kingdom troops, who showed courage, restraint, and patience, and have done a very fine job. As at present envisaged, the force, when fully constituted, will consist of about 7,000 men. As you know, the functions of the force, as specified in the Security Council resolution of 4th March 1964, will be, in the, I quote here, in the interests of preserving international peace and security, to use its best efforts to prevent a recurrence of fighting, and as necessary, to contribute to the maintenance and restoration of law and order, and a return to normal conditions. I unquote. My prime responsibilities will therefore be to command the force in such a manner that it may most effectively discharge these functions. As commander of the force, I shall exercise overall command of all aspects of its operations. I shall be assisted by a staff which will be international in character. Besides its military component, which will be drawn from the national contingents comprising the force, the staff will include permanent officials of the United Nations Secretariat, detailed by the Secretary General, a chief administrative officer, political advisor, legal advisor, public information, and a few others. I shall be directly responsible to the Secretary General for operations of the force, and the area of my responsibilities will extend throughout the island of Cyprus, excluding the United Kingdom sovereign base areas and the retained sites. A status of force agreement will be concluded with the government of Cyprus, covering such basic matters as freedom of movement of members of the force, privileges and immunities, responsibilities, discipline, communications, and so forth, which are necessary for the effective performance by the force of the functions entrusted to it. Like other United Nations operations in other parts of the world, the United Nations force in Cyprus is a peace operation. As such, it will use peaceful means to solve problems to the greatest possible extent. The force will no doubt be called upon to face many situations in which the principal methods we will use will be appeals, persuasions, ceasefire agreements, and the like. The force is an instrument of peace and will conduct itself as such. The main aims of the force will be, by its presence, bearing, and action, to help to relax tension and to create a feeling of security among all sections of the people of the island, and thereby re-establish calm and a return to normal conditions, by providing an atmosphere in which confidence may grow again and political solutions may be worked out by the parties principally concerned with the assistance of the United